I'm so proud of LT and Izzy, just the way they've embraced the change. And, obviously it's kind of a two-part relationship, right? When a new coach comes in, you have to work really hard to establish relationships with your players. But at the same time, they were so welcoming to me. And, it feels like, as much as I've only been with them for really less than a year, it feels like in so many ways I recruited them and, just spent 4 years with them. And it's a special year, obviously, for them, the way they've gone from a completely different role and completely embracing the new challenges ahead. And, these are two kids in NCAA women's basketball that you root for, their story and how they've hung tough with their grit and determination. And I'm really, really excited to coach them as long as possible here coming up.
Megan, I remember we were at that Macklin charity softball game just kind of talking about, okay, how's this going to work? What's going on? How do you build relationships? Everybody's human, like preseason prognostications are, they'll do, okay, whatever. But, and I know you got more to play for, but how proud are you that everybody bought in and you had a really good season?
One of, my mentality coming in with our team was to, give yourself no expectations. Take this one day at a time, really focus on getting better. Everybody's going to be in new roles, from the 6 freshmen coming in to those 5 returners. And the team was the one that posted that 9th preseason ranking, and it kind of hit them probably a little bit more than it hit me. And I said, you know what, you guys, if you want to run with that and that be extra motivation, go ahead and do it. And I think they've been able to kind of keep that in the back of their minds. In our locker room, we're really big on posting the standings and kind of seeing where you are. And they had their own little standing board of the preseason rankings. And I said, you can post that, but the work you're going to put in to try and prove people wrong has to be at the forefront of your mind. And they were excited about that challenge. And every so often they'll mention it. And I think now you kind of reflect a little bit of, now there is no more 9th preseason. It's about what's happening now and finishing strong and making, especially for those 2 seniors, make it the best couple weeks possible.
We've talked throughout the season the ups and downs of this team and the growths that you've seen from the first start of the exhibition, but how have you seen this team grow from that first DePaul game to right now?
So much has changed. It's amazing how much film we have to watch between the 2 games. But there's been a couple moments watching that first DePaul matchup where you kind of smile and say, well, at least I know we're better at a couple things, whether it's rebounding or our one-on-one defense or taking care of the basketball. And, I remember back in non-conference when we were facing Northwestern, who has turned out to have a phenomenal year, has a chance to win the Big Ten this season, and then you bring in Mississippi State to your home floor. And, just kind of questioning, can we compete with these teams, and what is it going to look like? And getting this team to believe that they can play at a high level. And kind of from then until now, there's been a ton of ups and downs in the character builders, but they've been able to build their own confidence and their drive that they're going to be in position to win most games in any game, and having that work match up with what's actually happening on the floor. And I do really feel, other than a couple little times, that we've been able to compete with anybody, and that's a testament to these 12 in that locker room.
To get the revenge this time against DePaul, what needs to be done from the last time?
Well, I don't know if it's revenge. DePaul is really good. They've been phenomenal all year, one of the highest octane offenses in the country. And first time we played them, they went on such a big run after that first quarter. We couldn't really catch up with them. And, they're coming off a tough loss at Villanova. And so, I think the big thing is not so much to obsess over DePaul and it's a make or break game. It's just an exciting rivalry game at the end of the season. It's that tune-up before March Madness. It's another opportunity for us to show what we're made of and to beat a quality opponent. And especially at this point in the season, as many quality opponents that you can compete with and do a good job with and potentially win on that resume is the most important thing.
What's the plan to stop Stonewall on Sunday?
Man, Stonewall and then Held and Morris, and their starting 5 is ridiculous, and then a couple kids off the bench as well. So Stonewall's been had a phenomenal career and averaging over 20, but then you go down the roster and there's 16 and a half and 16.8 points a game. So we have to make it as difficult as possible on Stonewall, make her take some contested jumpers versus getting to the basket. She's so good in the top of their press. She gets a couple steals and easy baskets that way. But the other thing about DePaul is how well they can shoot the 3, and that was probably the difference in their loss the other day, is they just didn't shoot it well. So we're going to have to obviously take care of somebody like Stonewall, but also guard that 3-point line.
Talk about that 3-point line against Villanova. Villanova held them 2 for 24 from the 3. How do you try to replicate that with such a dominant team that they can just shoot 57%? specifically?
A little bit. You have to just sustain their runs. At any point, they can go on a quick, 10-2 run or 12-2 run, and the game can be over. So you got to be really smart to kind of sustain that wave. And we've talked about all week at practice, and still have a couple days to prepare. Still, where you got to recognize where the shooters are. You got to make those open shots turn into contested shots and make it really difficult. And then the other thing that DePaul is so good at is those second chance opportunities. When they get an offensive rebound, they're not your typical kind of pound it inside and try and get to free throw line. They're looking for those three-point shooters. So you got to be able to have the awareness to find them again and again and again. So it's going to be a great challenge for our defense, but hopefully an exciting day for our seniors and a great atmosphere here at the Owl.
This team's undefeated at home in Big East play. How is the home court advantage at the Owl play in this team's success at home?
I think it's been a message all year for us, protect your home floor and try and get as many wins as possible while you're sleeping in your own bed and your normal routine is going on, because as any league that's super competitive, whether it's the men's side or our side, winning on the road is very difficult. So we want to take advantage of any possibility to win a home game, and obviously you try and shoot a little better at home when you're used to practicing there. So we look forward to hosting DePaul.
And finally, different implications and situations for the 2-3 seeds in the league. Is it kind of nerve-wracking in a way that you don't have a destiny? There's other games in the playing in that?
I think the biggest thing after our last win was we guaranteed that we're going to be playing on Saturday in the Big East tournament. And, it sounds like for me being new, historically this is the craziest, from 2 to 8 seedings that they've ever seen in the tiebreakers. And so I let our communication side and Megan O'Shea handle that and explain it to me, because I'm not very smart with that kind of stuff. So I just said, let me know after Sunday where we play, who we're playing, and then we'll get our team ready to go. But it is amazing, a little bit the parity of our league, that, a team that could be in 7th right now can move all the way up, 3 or 4 spots, and it affects the whole tournament at Wintrust here in a couple days.